Well, let's bring you back to events in Japan, and I'll give you an update of all that's been happening over the last couple of hours. Now, we reported earlier that a strong 6-magnitude earthquake struck in the Pacific. That was so strong that it was felt in Tokyo, and our correspondent Chris Hogg was able to confirm that he felt the building sway. No tsunami warning was immediately issued, but Japan's meteorological agency said that there was a warning of a possible change in sea levels. And back to the Fukushima Daiichi power plants that we can see on our screens. Well, we know that workers within the plant have been evacuated. Earlier tonight, the Japanese government's chief spokesman, Yukio Edano, had confirmed that the workers there, even the ones, as he described them, with minimum roles, have been evacuated. They've been moved away from the area to a safe distance, and that's because of concerns over fluctuations in radiation levels. Mr. Edano was describing how the levels had been high, so high that he was concerned enough to move those workers out, but they have since dropped somewhat, and because of the inconsistency in those levels, the fluctuating levels, he has decided to move the workers away from that. Now, of course, these were the workers who have been doing their utmost to bring down the heat levels within the reactors. They were dousing the reactors with water to keep them cool, and they, of course, will not be doing that currently while they've been evacuated from the area. And there was some discussion about other ways of keeping those reactors cool. One possibility that Mr. Edano mentioned was helicopters flying overhead, but of course that as well has very large risks. So that was a possibility that was described, but that was not confirmed in the press conference that Mr. Edano gave an hour or so ago. Now, he also spoke about the white smoke that was reported from reactor number 3. Now, this is not the reactor that had the fire. That was reactor number 4, which had 2 counts of fire over the past couple of days. That fire has since been extinguished. We're now talking about reactor number 3 and the white smoke, or possibly vapor, that has been seen coming out of reactor number 3. Concerns about that, because there could be a possibility that the containment vessel within that reactor suffered from damage. So, of course, the situation there, very critical, you could say. And Mr. Edano just saying that that vapor, also being described as white smoke, was probably steam from the evaporation of water, which then subsequently caused the higher radiation and those fluctuations in radiation, which of course led to the workers being evacuated. And if I just describe how Mr. Edano spoke of one of the possible causes, he said that right now experts were conducting analysis, but a probability of the vapor is that the most probable thing is that this is just as in number 2 reactor, part of the vessel evaporation is coming out, and that is causing the white smoke, and that during this time the radiated vapor came out. And he stressed that this is not confirmed, this is the most probable scenario. But of course, he was very keen in trying to maintain calm, not to distress people. He spoke of the fact that there are radiation levels within normal everyday scenarios, say having an X-ray taken. So Mr. Edano desperately trying to keep the situation calm, to maintain some levels of calm. But he was also asked about the 2 other reactors within Fukushima Daiichi power plant, number 5 and 6. and he did not want to be pushed on that. I'm sure that specialists will be monitoring the reactors number 5 and 6, but we haven't heard anything concrete about the situation in those 2 reactors. Now, another point that Mr. Adano made was that there is a possibility that the Japanese authorities will ask the US military to help to get involved in this crisis in the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. He was talking about some of the anti-radiation garments that the US military has and saying that these would be very useful in helping out in this situation. So a possibility that the Japanese government will request for help. Well, just to once more give you an update and a reminder of our main news, and those efforts to cool and stabilise the reactors at Japan's nuclear plant damaged by Friday's earthquake and tsunami have had to be suspended due to high radiation levels. But the government's chief spokesman, Yukio Edano, said that levels were now falling. He added that the white smoke reported at the plant on Wednesday morning was probably steam. You're watching BBC News.
Hello there.